What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I kind of want to talk about my final thoughts of Halo Infinite's campaign before it comes out. Now, I did not get a code or anything like that. It's not that kind of video, but just kind of talk about where I'm at, what I'm expecting, what I'm hoping for this game, right before it releases. So obviously, this comes out on Wednesday, and people have played it. In fact, I think people had long extended periods to play it. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of it. The only things I've watched of the Halo campaign have been any of the trailers they did, and then any, I guess, official somewhat good length videos that they've put out themselves. But I haven't watched any kind of impressions of it. I kind of want, and I said this before, the thing that excites me about Halo in a way is, I like it. I've been a fan for a very, very long time. I mean, I do love Halo, and at the same time, though, I don't really cover it all that much on the channels, and I've never really felt any pressure to do it. So I've been able so far, and I think I'm gonna make it all the way, to be able to go into the launch of the campaign without having seen all that much, kind of going in with a blank slate. Like I've said, I've always wanted to do that. Like if I could have gone into Uncharted 4 without having seen anything on that game. Now, again, with Halo, I have seen some stuff, and I've played, obviously, the multiplayer a ton. But if I could go into a game that I really do like quite a bit, maybe not the most of all time like an Uncharted, but without knowing too much about it, I'll be happy. And so, at the same time, though, that does get me in my mind. It's like I don't really know where to put my floor and ceiling, right? What do I think is like the worst it could be, and what do I think is like the highest point it could be? No, to be flat out honest with you, I'm just expecting something solid. I'm not expecting it to, blow up the world. I do like Halo a lot, but I'm not the biggest diehard fan. Obviously, 343 has had some issues in the storytelling department. 4 was actually very good, very solid. 5, not so much. And even before that, like the trilogy, as I've said, as always, in my opinion, been really good. Halo Reach is, I think, as the peak as Halo can kind of get. But I don't know. I mean, they've created, Bungie created a very interesting world, a very big world, and then 343 or universe, I guess, right? And then 343 had to keep it going and expand upon it without messing it up too much or without, it getting too convoluted. And I think they've done an okay job of that. I don't think they've done a good job. I don't think they've done a bad job, though. And so for this one, I mean, just give me something solid. And I feel like those expectations, it's not even specific. I really, all I really know, well, I know the story, but all I know from what they have said also about this too is that a lot of this story is going to be put on Master Chief and making him more of an individual, like a person, like where you're gonna hear, like he's gonna talk more, he's gonna emote more somehow, there's gonna be more noises that he makes, maybe if he gets hurt and stuff like that. So it's gonna be more him than we've ever seen before, or a different take on. I don't even know if it would necessarily be a different take. Just like stuff that you maybe would assume any character would normally do that maybe he hasn't done, but now we're just gonna kind of fill in that gap. Maybe even in a way like Isaac and like Dead Space, how they're doing it for the remake of 1, in a similar vein, like keeping to the character, just kind of adding a little bit more to it. Fine. I'm more than happy with that. I love the voice of Master Chief. I love Master Chief. And so, I'm excited. Again, I really don't have I'm sure there's like story decisions they could make that would make me upset. It's like, do you eventually, there's always going to be the age-old question, right, of do you end these characters? I mean, Cortana got close, but still not really. And then Chief, I mean, he's been around forever, and I'm not saying it's time to let him go. In fact, it probably isn't, especially with the way they're doing Halo Infinite. But you got to wonder what their plan is, especially with this game being a game that's going to last. And remember, they've talked about this game is going to last an insanely long time. And what does that mean for the story? Like, we know for multiplayer, all the seasons and all the events and stuff like that, like, that's how you keep the game around for like 2, 3. Now, I would say you keep the game around for like 1, 2, 3 years. Their plan is to keep the game around for like 5, 6 plus years. So that's a very long time. And I guess, can you have more campaign stuff to kind of fill in the gaps there? I feel like you'd almost have to. Well, maybe, I mean, actually you don't, because all the games that do last that long are mainly like Dead by Daylight or Fortnite, obviously. Like they're multiplayer experiences. So I guess you don't have to have more story. But I will say that, without me paying too close of attention to what they've shown so far with the story, the one thing that does worry me is that, like, you have this game, and then if this is it, the story, and then like the multiplayer is the only stuff that stays around, we're not going to see another story and another experience for Halo for another, let's say, like 6 to 8 years. That's a very long time. By the way, the voice actor of Master Chief, 71 years old. So, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta move a little bit faster, because if you want him around in more than just this game, the next game's 6, 7, 8 years away. He'll be closer to 80. That could be like his last one, just out of necessity, not because he doesn't want it. It's not like he wants it to be the last one. So we'll have to see. But that does worry me in the way that, like, you only have this one, chance, and then you're not going to see it for an extremely long time. So if you drop the ball, it's not going to, you know what I mean? You have a long time to think about that ball being dropped, and you may not be able to rebound. And you could argue that, I guess, for Halo 5 or Guardians. So I'm very excited for it. Again, I'm kind of keeping my expectations right in the middle. I'm going to be critical of it for sure. And if there's a, story or even like character beats that I feel like or just like tell a good story, like beginning, middle, end, conflict, character arcs, like simple, and it is simple, and it is like basic stuff that you would consider when writing a story. But obviously some of these games don't do it all that well. I think, again, Halo's done a really good job overall throughout their entire franchise, but it's been a long time, and this is really going to set up the next era, let's say, of Halo. So we'll have to see where they go for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on the channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.